What's up? I'm Lily. Revenge Crown brings you the stories that keep you hooked. If that sounds good, smash subscribe and let's go. Let me back up to the phone call that led to this moment. It was Tuesday afternoon when my sister Brianna called. No greeting, just, I need $15,000 by Friday. Transfer it to my account tonight. I was in the middle of a project review at work. Brianna, I'm busy. Can this wait? No, it can't wait. My credit card payment is due and Derek's bonus got delayed. Just send the money. That's a lot of money for a credit card payment. Don't be dramatic, Kyle. You have it. I need it. That's how family works. She hung up before I could respond. That evening, Mom called. Kyle, your sister told me you're being difficult about helping her. That's not like you. She asked for $15,000 with 3 days' notice. And you're doing well. Brianna needs support right now. Family takes care of family. I'll think about it. Think about it? Mom's voice went cold. Your sister has been there for you your entire life. The least you can do is help when she asks. Don't be selfish. I hung up and stared at my apartment ceiling for a long time. Here's what my family knew about me. I worked in IT infrastructure. I lived in a small apartment. I drove a 10-year-old Subaru. I wore the same rotation of button-downs and khakis. I was, in their estimation, doing okay but nothing special. Here's what they didn't know. I was a senior cloud architect making $185,000 annually. I lived in a small apartment because I was saving 60% of my income. I drove an old car because it was paid off and reliable. I wore simple clothes because I didn't care about fashion. And over the past 6 years, I'd been funneling money to my family while building an investment portfolio they knew nothing about. I opened my laptop and pulled up the spreadsheet I'd been maintaining, the one that tracked every dollar. Brianna's emergencies over 6 years, asterisk wedding costs I covered when she went over budget, $18,000. Asterisk credit card bailouts, 4 times, $31,000 asterisk car down payment, $8,000 asterisk. Her boutique startup costs, $25,000 asterisk various temporary loans, $19,500. Total to Brianna, $101,500 mom and dad's requests. Asterisk home repairs, $22,000. Asterisk dad's medical bills, $15,000 asterisk new furniture when they redecorated, $8,500. Asterisk cruise vacation they deserved, $7,200. Asterisk mom's car when hers broke down, $12,000 total to parents, $64,700 combined, $166,200 over 6 years. None of it repaid, all of it expected. Every no met with accusations of selfishness. But here's what made this moment different. I'd finally had enough, not because of the amount. Because of the word failure. That word had followed me my entire childhood. When I chose computer science over law school like Dad wanted failure. When I took a stable corporate job instead of starting a business like Brianna failure. When I bought a modest apartment instead of stretching for something impressive failure. I'd internalized it, believed it. Compensated for it by proving my worth through financial generosity. But I wasn't a failure. I built something they couldn't see because I'd never told them. Current investment portfolio, $437,000, current $401,000, $198,000. Current savings, $54,000, total net worth, $689,000 at 33 years old. While Brianna lived in a house she couldn't afford with furniture bought on credit, calling me a failure. I picked up my phone and called my bank manager, Catherine Torres. Catherine, I need to schedule a meeting. Tomorrow morning if possible. Of course, Kyle. What's this regarding? I need to restructure some accounts. And I need your help with something that's going to be uncomfortable. Wednesday morning. I sat in Catherine's office at 9 a.m. Tell me what you're thinking, she said. I explained everything. The years of financial requests. The $166,200 I'd provided. The complete lack of awareness about my actual financial situation. The word failure. And now? Catherine asked. Now I want them to understand exactly who's been funding their lifestyle. I want documentation. I want clarity. And I want them to hear it from you, not me. Catherine was quiet for a moment. Kyle, I can provide documentation of transfers from your accounts. I can verify your financial position. But are you prepared for the fallout? This will fundamentally change your family relationships. They're already changed. I've just been pretending they're not. She nodded slowly. Then let's do this right. We spent 2 hours preparing documents. Every transfer to family members over 6 years. Every account statement. A comprehensive financial summary showing my current position. A letter, drafted with her help, explaining my decision to discontinue financial support. When do you want to send this? Catherine asked. Tonight. After I don't transfer that $15,000 Brianna demanded. That evening, Brianna called at 6:47 p.m. Kyle, I don't see the transfer. Did you forget? I didn't forget. I'm not sending it. Silence, then. Excuse me? I'm not sending the money. Are you kidding right now? I told you I need it by Friday. I understand. I'm still not sending it. What is wrong with you? Her voice escalated. Mom was right. You're a useless failure who can't even help his own sister.
Interesting choice of words. What? Check your email.
I've sent you something. I hung up. The email went to Brianna, my parents, and Brianna's husband Derek. Subject line: Financial transparency from Kyle Chun. The message was simple. Dear family, I'm writing to provide clarity about our financial interactions. Attached are documented records of all monetary support I've provided over the past 6 years. Total provided, $166,200. I'm also including my current financial summary to address any misconceptions about my financial capacity or success. Moving forward, I will not be providing additional financial support. This decision is final and not open to discussion. Regards, Kyle. The attachments. 1. 6 years of documented transfers. Highlighted and categorized. 2. Current net worth statement, $689,000. 3. Investment portfolio summary. A breakdown showing I'd been saving while funding their lifestyle. 5. Catherine's verification of all documents. My phone started ringing 4 minutes later. Brianna, declined. Mom, declined. Dad, declined. The text messages came in a flood. Brianna, 7:03 p.m. These numbers are fake. There's no way you have this money. Mom, 7:08 p.m. Kyle, call me immediately. This is very concerning. Dad, 7:15 p.m. Your mother is extremely upset. These documents must be explained. Brianna, 7:22 p.m. You've had almost $700,000 this entire time, and you let me beg for money? What kind of person are you? Mom, 7:34 p.m. If you have this money, why do you live like you're poor? Why haven't you been helping more? 4. Derek, 7:41 p.m. This is seriously messed up, man. Your sister has been stressed about money while you hoarded wealth? I turned off my phone and went to bed. Thursday morning brought 73 missed calls and messages. I read through them over coffee. The messages had evolved overnight. Denial. Brianna, Mom says you probably edited these documents. No way, they're real. Anger. Mom, how dare you embarrass this family with these accusations? We've always been good to you. Justification. Dad, if you had this money, you should have been contributing more. We're your family. Guilt. Mom, after everything we sacrificed for you, this is how you repay us. I responded once. All documents are verified by my bank manager, Catherine Torres at First National. She can be contacted to confirm authenticity. I will not be discussing this further. I included Catherine's business card information. Friday afternoon, Catherine called me at work. Kyle, your mother and sister came to the bank this morning. Together? Yes. They wanted to know if the documents were legitimate. I confirmed they were. How did they react? Your mother cried. Your sister got angry. She demanded to know why you'd been hiding money. I explained that your financial information is private and that you're not obligated to disclose your assets to anyone. Did they ask about the transfers? Yes. I showed them the transaction history from our records. 6 years of transfers from your accounts to theirs. Your mother kept saying she didn't realize it was that much. Your sister said you should have given more since you clearly could afford it. Of course she did. Kyle, your sister asked if there was a way to legally compel you to continue support. I told her absolutely not. and that attempting to do so could constitute financial harassment. After we hung up, I sat at my desk feeling strangely hollow. Not guilty. Not vindicated, just d. I'd exposed the truth. Now came the consequences. Saturday brought a new wave of family reaction. My uncle Robert called Ad's brother. Kyle, your dad asked me to talk some sense into you. I'm not changing my mind. Hold on. I'm not calling to lecture you. I'm calling to say good for you. I almost dropped my phone. What? Your dad told me the whole story. How you betrayed the family by cutting them off. So I asked him how much you've given them over the years. When he said $166,000, I told him he should be ashamed. You did? Kyle, I've watched your parents enable Brianna's spending for years. I've watched them treat you like the responsible one who exists to bail everyone out. What you did setting that boundary, that took guts. We talked for over an hour. He shared stories I'd never heard about my father's own financial entitlement, about family patterns going back generations. You're not the villain, Robert said. You're just the first one who said enough. 1 week after sending the email, my family's response had shifted again. Brianna, day 6. Fine, keep your money. But don't expect me to come running when you finally need something. Mom, day 7. I've been talking to our pastor. He says family forgiveness is important. Are you willing to discuss this like adults? Dad, day 8. Your mother wants to have lunch. Just the 3 of us. She thinks we can work this out. I didn't respond to any of it. 2 weeks after the email, something unexpected happened. Brianna sent a different kind of message. I showed Derek those documents. All the money you gave us. He didn't know it was that much. He said we've been taking advantage of you. I told him you could afford it. He said that's not the point. I don't know if he's right, but I'm thinking about it. I read it 3 times, didn't respond, but I saved it. 3 weeks after the email, Mom called from a restricted number. I answered. Kyle, please, can we just talk? About what? About why you're doing this. About why you're punishing us. I'm not punishing you. I'm stopping an unsustainable pattern. But we're your family. We need you. No, you need my money. There's a difference. That's not fair. We love you. Mom, you called me a useless failure for not immediately transferring $15,000. Does that sound like love? Silence. I gave you $166,200 over 6 years. I lived modestly to save while funding your lifestyle. And it was never enough. There was always another emergency, another need, another demand. When does it end? When we don't need help anymore. Exactly, it never ends. So I'm ending it. I hung up. 1 month after the email, I sat with my financial advisor reviewing my accounts. Your savings rate has increased dramatically, Jennifer observed. Without the family transfers, you're putting away an additional $2,300 monthly. I should have stopped years ago. You stopped when you were ready. She pulled up a projection chart. At this rate, you'll be a millionaire by 37. 37, Kyle? That's extraordinary. It doesn't feel extraordinary. It feels lonely. Boundaries often do at first. But you're building security. Real, lasting security that no one can take from you. My phone rarely rang anymore. Brianna had stopped calling entirely. Mom texted occasionally neutral updates about family events I wasn't invited to. Dad hadn't contacted me since the failed lunch invitation. I'd started therapy with Dr. Amanda Price, who specialized in family financial dynamics. You were the family's emotional and financial regulator, she explained in our 3rd session. When you stopped regulating, when you stopped absorbing their dysfunction, through financial support, the system destabilized. So I broke the family. No, you stopped maintaining a broken system. There's a difference. I'd also started dating someone I met through a hiking group. Her name was Priya, and when I told her about my family situation, she'd said, "You chose financial freedom over financial obligation. That's not selfish. That's healthy." 2 months after the email, I got a letter from Brianna. Kyle, Derek and I started marriage counseling. The therapist asked about our finances. When we laid everything out, she said, we've been living beyond our means for years. She asked where the bailout money came from. I said my brother. She asked if you were wealthy. I said no, you just help family. Then I remembered those documents $101,500 to me alone. Kyle, that's insane. That's a down payment on a house. That's years of retirement savings. And I took it like it was nothing. Derek says I've been entitled.
He says mom and dad taught me to expect rescue instead of responsibility. I think he might be right.
B, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know I'm trying to understand. And that I'm sorry I called you a failure. You're the opposite of a failure. I'm the one who failed. B, I read the letter 5 times, cried a little. Put it in a drawer next to Dad's. Maybe someday I'd respond, maybe not. But for the first time, I felt like maybe they were starting to see me as a person instead of a resource. 3 months after the email, my life had transformed. Net worth, $724,000, growing steadily. Family demands, 0. Stress level, the lowest it had been in years. Peace of mind, priceless. I'd moved to a nicer apartment with a view of the river. Not to show off, I still told no one about my finances, but because I wanted to. Because I could. I'd taken a pottery class, started rock climbing, booked a trip to Iceland. All things I'd put off while saving to fund other people's emergencies. 4 months after the email, I ran into my mother at the grocery store. She was in produce, looking older than I remembered. Kyle, she said quietly. Mom, how are you? I'm good, you? Managing, she paused. Your sister is doing better. She got a regular job. Retail management. She hates it, but she's doing it. That's good. Your father and I are cutting back. Smaller grocery budget. No more trips. It's hard, but we're managing. I'm glad you're figuring it out. She looked at me with something like sadness. We really didn't know it was that much. 166,000. When I saw it all added up like that dot. I didn't realize we'd taken so much. I gave it willingly. Until I didn't. I know. I just wish you'd told us you couldn't afford it. I could afford it. That was never the issue. The issue was that you never asked if I wanted to keep doing it. You just expected it. And when I said no, you called me a failure. Her eyes filled with tears. I shouldn't have said that. No, you shouldn't have. We stood there in the produce section, 6 feet apart, with 6 years of financial entanglement between us. I miss you, she said. I miss who I thought we were, I replied. I walked away. 6 months after the email, I sat in my apartment on a Sunday morning, drinking good coffee and watching the sunrise over the river. My phone was silent. My portfolio had crossed $750,000. My life was entirely my own. No demands, no guilt. No performance of struggle to avoid family expectations, just freedom. The morning light filled my space. My coffee was perfect. My day was mine. My money was mine. My future was mine. They'd called me a useless failure. But I was free. And I built something they could and see because they never really looked at me, only at what I could provide. Now they knew, and I'd never go back. The sun rose higher. The city woke up below. And I sat in the quiet of my choosing, finally at peace.